Hey, this is Sky, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk again about business. Some people have a hard time getting started, and what I mean by that is that they don't know where to start. They don't know how to begin even with their business plan. So before you start your business, obviously, you have to have a plan. A lot of people don't even know how to do a business plan. And there is a formal way to do a business plan, and I suggest you get books on it. I have several books that are simply just how to do business plans. But what's the most important key is to really think about that shit in your head. So this is what I do. I've started many businesses over the years, many. And with every business that I've ever started, it begins with just an idea, a fantasy, some dream, some bright idea I think might work. And the process that I go through before I even start the formal business plan on paper, because you do want to write out a business plan, type it into your computer, save it in a file. It's something that you will refer back to throughout the course of the startup of your business. I've even looked back on my mission statements and aspects of my business plan 5 years into the business, just as a reminder to stay on the right path and to stay where we, on the same course that we started. But what I would do, and what I do with every business, is I kick the idea around in my head relentlessly. I obsess on it. I think about it, and think about it. I think about it so much that it kind of forms into a ball. It starts off as like a loose cloud, and eventually I form it into a solid ball. This idea becomes so solid that it hasn't even happened yet. I haven't even put anything on paper yet. I haven't taken a single step, spent any money. A lot of times I won't even tell other people. But it's all going on in here. And it gets to be where it's so real. The business, the idea in my head, and I'll think every aspect out. I'll overthink everything. I'll think every tiny little detail. I'll start doing research. I'll start putting it together more and more and gathering the information so that cloud turns into a solid ball, and that ball forms and forms and forms to where all of a sudden I realize this isn't just a fantasy anymore. This is happening, and this has to happen. In my personal experience, when I've formed business plans like this in my head first, when I go to take my very first steps of, say, for example, writing out a business plan, that becomes easy. You write out a business plan in 10 minutes, no big deal, bam, there you go. The first steps to doing your business, of whatever your business may be, getting licensed or, various things, those become very easy. You've already thought about that shit so much that, it's already happening. That thought in your head of the business that you want to run and how you want to run it. You think of every little aspect. You'll think of the toilet paper in the employee bathrooms. You'll think about the how clean the floors are going to be. You'll think about what customers you'll have, conversations that you might have with customers. You'll think about sitting at your desk, looking at your paperwork at the end of the day, feeling satisfied. You'll think about every aspect of production or service or if you're online, you'll think about your graphics. You'll detail all of this, every tiny detail, and you'll think about it relentlessly. And then all of a sudden you realize, this is so easy. I can do this. Now, you may also go the other direction with it, and this happens to me all the time, where I form ideas. It starts off, like I said, as a loose cloud. I start to form it into almost a ball shape where, this is all metaphorical, where the idea is coming together. Some of the things are falling into place, but I may start realizing as I'm forming this idea that there's all these barriers. I may start realizing that there's a lot of problems with this plan. I may start realizing there's no revenue stream, there's no profit margin, there's no, all of a sudden, just in my head, I haven't even tried it yet, I've realized that there's flaws with this idea. Now, that doesn't need to stop you. You can use that to tackle those ideas. But I don't want to make a single move. I don't want to fucking spend a single penny. I don't want to go out and hire people or get locations, or I don't want to do any of that shit until I got it all worked out in here. And when I got it all worked out in here, it just goes the way it's supposed to. I'll end the video here. I was told by a boss. Let me just put it that way. That's all he was. He was a boss. He used to drive me around, and he was kind of a mentor. And he would talk a lot of shit, and he would spit a lot of game, lace me up with how stuff is supposed to be, especially business. And he used to tell me, Sky, you never plan to fail. You only fail to plan. So I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching.